Travel my way, take the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, it winds from Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles all the way. Get your kicks on Route 66.
Then you go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri. Oklahoma City looks mighty pretty. You'll see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, King, Barstow, San Bernardino.
Well, won't you get hip to this timely tip? When you make that California trip, get your kicks on Route 66. Not too big, in fact, it's kinda small. The people there know they got it all. A simple life for me. Hele on to Kauai, Honolulu by the bay, Waialua River Valley is where I used to play. Of Waimea, standing all alone. The magic of the Garden Isle is calling me back home. When I was young, not too smart, I left my home looking for a brand new start. Better still, and now I know I never will. Hele on to Kauai, Honolulu by the bay, Waialua River Valley 66 on Route 66.
Sounds like a fun trip.
I'll get the car.
Did you ever want to play your ukulele with a friend? Well, then COVID hit and play-alongs came quickly to an end. So we virtualized and put the chords and lyrics all online. So join us every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So join us every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Good day, happy Wednesday. It is so wonderful when technology works. Most of the time it does. If you were here last week, we had some technology problems. I had an iPad that was fairly new, and the little port that sends the video signal out, that port failed, which means we couldn't display the chords and lyrics, which means it was kind of pointless. So we talked for a little bit. And then I screwed around and I came up with a backup solution. We used this old iPad and we got about half the crowd back about half an hour later. But apologies. So I have a new iPad. I'm designing a whole new system. To you, that's meaningless. But to me, it's going to be very cool because it's going to have a giant screen. So I don't have to squint and do this. So that's in the works. Anyway, we have a new iPad. I do want to say a couple things. Scammers, don't they have something better to do? So if you're looking at the links, there are scammers who are posting in the Facebook chat, the live stream chat. And they're saying, click here to watch the show, which is kind of stupid, really, because you're already watching the show. So I don't know why you would click somewhere to watch the show when you're watching the show. But don't click on any of those. Just don't click on them. Don't click on any link except a link from like Terry Brandsma. Terry Brandsma gets the thumbs up for that. All right, so we've got a really good show, and I'm glad people are here. Welcome to all the new folks. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun tonight. I was over the weekend. I just want to mention real quick. If you ever get the chance to go to a ukulele festival, I highly recommend it. And they're all over, right? Some are longer, some are shorter. Some cost more, some cost less. If you find one near you, I would go to it. It is a place you'll meet people you might know from here or from other shows online. It's a place where you can it's fun. And there's play-alongs, and there's workshops, and there's performances and concerts. It's awesome. So I was in Indiana at a festival called BCUF, Brown County Ukulele Festival. And it was a blast. It was an absolute blast. I got to lead a workshop there. And unfortunately, Pete McCarty, if you know Pete McCarty, unfortunately, he got where he thought he didn't want to go and spread anything, right? So he was very thoughtful. And Pete, you're awesome. But he texted me while I was sitting at the airport saying, uh-oh. And I said, uh-oh, what? And he said, hey, I'm not going because, I fear I don't want to spread anything. So he asked if I would lead the play-alongs that he was going to lead. So I got to lead a couple play-alongs, which was really fun. So if anyone's on tonight that was at those play-alongs, glad you were there. Hope you had fun. That's kind of what we do here. We do it every week. I have to get this ready. It'll take me just a moment. I got to work some technology. Uke 66 is standing by. So one moment, and we'll have Uke 66 on with us. It's going to be awesome. So, again, don't click on any scammer links. I wish we could prevent that, but we can block it. We can delete them as they show up, but then they create a new profile or use a new profile, and it's difficult. So, be back in a second, and I'm going to go get Uke 66, so hang on. probably probably saw this promo on Facebook or some social media site. We try to put those out about our next guest, our guest tonight. And I was lucky. I got to see them live down in, here in Florida, in St. Pete. And it was amazing. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I want to introduce our guests. They have performed and do perform at fairs and festivals, luau's, pretty much anywhere. They've performed in the Midwest, in the U.S., various parts of the world. So very active in performance and do everything from jazz to Johnny Cash. And I love Johnny Cash. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's a good way.
it's my favorite one.
Jazz to Johnny Cash. So let me welcome, from Missouri, let me welcome Rick and Karen Maxon. So welcome. So I just mentioned, but I did get to see you at T-Bug. And
Yes.
that was absolutely phenomenal. It was one of those performances that caught people off guard and just really blew the whole room away. I mean, I remember it was standing. It was just energy and excitement, and it
That's
was
nice.
amazing.
Well, that's nice to hear. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we
So-
had that was our first time to be at T-Bug, and you know because you're part of it that almost immediately you don't feel like you're at a convention. You feel like you're at a big family reunion.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Well, good. No, I'm glad you enjoyed that. I've gone up to a few T-Bugs, but that one really was. That was a great night. Great performance.
It was a lot of fun.
So you've got some exciting stuff, right, to show. Do you want to play first? I think you have something to play. Do you want to do that first and then come and talk about the embellishments?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do that because we know we've watched the Ukulele Gent on Wednesdays, and we know that your guests will come on and show a little something or other. And so what we'd like to show is something a number of you probably already know or probably already do, but we wanted to show what I'm calling open chord embellishments, and it came because as a beginning ukulaler,
Ukulele. I haven't heard that one.
I
It's
think
a
I
good
made
one.
that up.
Yeah. Ukulele.
After a while you kind of get tired of playing C, or you're looking for a way to open a song or close a song or transition. And so I just found these things just by putting down one finger or lifting a finger, it can make a big difference. So what we'd like to do is we're going to play a song that really depends a lot. I mean, the song, there's only 4 chords, but when you think of these, it more like 8 to 12 chords, but they're very simple changes. And you want to tell them about the song?
Yeah. The song has 4 chords, like Rick mentioned, and we know them. This G, C, D, and G7. And it's a song that Rick wrote. We're really involved in the Sister Cities organization. It's a global organization where a city can ask to be matched with a city very much like it in another part of the world. And they match cities up based on demographics, population, industry. And in Springfield, Missouri, where we live, we have 2 sister cities and we're very active. One is in Tlaquepaque, Mexico, and the other is in Isesaki, Japan. And the premise is that if citizens can visit each other in their sister city, it's peace through people. It's friendships without borders. And it really is a lovely organization. So Rick and I took 9 students from Drury University here in Springfield, where he was a professor at the time. They were in the ukulele club that he started. And in 2015, we took these 9 students to Isesaki, Japan to perform in their fall music festival. And it was a life-changing experience for everyone. And we really loved Japan. None of us had been, and we just fell in love with it. And as travel can so often do, it can provoke creativity. And for Rick, that came in the form of writing a song that he calls Isesaki Spring.
Yeah. So listen and enjoy, or at the same time, maybe watch my left hand, and you'll get a hint for where we're going next with these embellishments.
Now that song won an award, right? You didn't. I don't think you mentioned. Maybe you're just being humble, but that song won the award for the best performance, best song, right?
The one that you're thinking of is Hedgehog Cafe.
Okay, got it.
And and it won the original song at the ukulele International Ukulele Contest in 2019.
Yeah.
Right.
But we did, we came back the next year. We played this song, and once you win something, they won't let you win it again. But we went back and we did this Isesaki Spring. We hope it's a winner with you.
Yeah. Thank you. Wow.
Isesaki Spring.
That's awesome.
So this is what we'd like to show you. Whenever you're on an open chord, like you saw you saw here, spending a lot of time on that G, a lot of time on that C. So what I'm calling embellishments are really in music theory, they're suspended chords, right? If you're familiar with the chord diagram, where there's a G and then it says S-U-S, G, sus, and then a number. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because Karen teaches at a private high school, and I was trying to explain this to the students today, and I said, look, Jesus.
And they started laughing, and so I get on my phone right away and I'm Googling Urban Dictionary sus. Right? So, but they couldn't stop laughing.
This is
See, pretty soon he started calling it suspended, which is what it stands for. So.
It's the Jesus chord.
And they're laughing at it because it has some sort of connotation.
And we sent you a chart that we'll ask you in a minute to put up, but just before our picture we get like postage stamp size. You know, I'm playing this G, and then just with a pinky, putting it on the first string on the third fret. Listen to this. right? Or taking off the middle finger. So let's take a look at that chart, and Karen can walk us through it.
Sure. Yeah, I've got it up now.
Yeah, good. So
Good.
typically what we like to do is we start with the G chord with the index finger on the third string on the second fret, ring finger on the third fret of the second string, and then your middle finger on the bottom string on the A string, second fret, the G chord. And what we do then is we tuck in the pinky finger on the bottom string on the A string on the second fret, right underneath that ring finger. That makes the G sus4. Then we take it off and play the G. And then we take the middle finger off, finger number 2, and put it back on. So it has a nice
And there you can see, what we did was we put the open chord in the center, and then the sus4 on the right, and then the sus2 on the left. So if you wanted to, if you're new to this and wanted to practice, start in the middle, go to the right, go back to the middle, and then go to the left. We did the same. This does not exhaust suspended chords.
Yeah.
These are just the chords that we used in this song. If you want more, come to Gaithersburg and take my workshop. We'll give you some more. But you can see there the same thing with the G7. Something very similar with the D chord. Now the C chord is a little bit different. And if you take your eyes down there, look at the center of the C, and I have a sus4, right? But the sus5, I'm coming up on that second string. And we're from the Ozarks, so we're familiar with so it's fun to do that. But let me just tell you where you can use these. Anytime you're playing, you're hanging on one chord and you're staying with it for more than 2 measures. Think about using one of these embellishments. So, for example, the answer is blowing in the wind. It can serve as a nice transition. Or was blind, but now I see. Or you may have heard the give a girl a ride in my wagon. She crawled in and took control. All of those are open chords using some type of suspended chord, or what we're calling an embellishment.
There you go. It can also be a way to do an intro for a song. For instance, if you're starting on a C chord, just do that C sus4 by adding your index finger to string number 2 on the first fret.
Pretend I'm a frog. Why are there so many
Nice.
suspended chords for our pleasure?
So
That's
just
great.
by adding a finger or taking a finger off of a string, you can get a lot of different sounds.
Right. Yeah. My farmer friends in Tennessee would say that these chords are low maintenance and high yield. They're easy to play and you get a lot out of them.
Do you have a question? So, do you have any, I guess, a guidance on like when during a strum you would add that? Like if someone's playing an island strum, like at what point in the island strum would you add the embellishment? And I'm just asking for others, like, are there options? Are there things you'd say it should be on the second beat? It should be on the, on the fourth? Just curious.
Yeah. I throw them in wherever I feel like it. But I think for those of you who grew up in church, you have an advantage because it's the suspended chord is it's the consummate. Oh man! So wherever you throw in an amen, I'd use a suspended chord.
So
what were you gonna say?
I'm playing a C. I don't know exactly. I was trying to think of where on the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, just
But that was
try
I
it. Just try different things and see how it fits in the strum you're using.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong.
Well, yeah, isn't that what we love about the ukulele? It's so experimental, and if it sounds good to your ear, do it.
Yeah. Good tips. So there's 4 here. Is there a place I could find more information about these? So we showed those 4 on the screen. Any guidance on where they could look up additional?
Right.
Your workshop at Gaithersburg.
You come to Gaithersburg and take my workshop. We will exhaust the possibilities. I think any open. No, we're talking about open chords, right? Those that we're playing down here, and any open chord is it. Well, all the chords are going to have a potential for suspended chords. So, but now that you know, you're looking here and you're just going, well, man, the Maxons were using a suspended 4 and a suspended 2. Wherever you like to go shopping for your chords online,
Right.
Punch in. Well, what if I wanted to do an E suspended 4 or an E suspended 2? That's where I would. Don't you all have your favorite go-tos when you're looking for chords?
Right. A lot of times I just Google C sus2 or C sus4, whatever it is, and then I have a variety to look at. So
get a nice picture.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's great. Great tips. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Rick.
I was going to say, we've been looking forward to this. So we're kind of excited to be part of this, and we know that we're talking to a number of you. We know we've met. We've probably met at a festival or some other gathering. So Karen and I we met in kindergarten in Ventura, California. So some of you may be at an Anacapa ukuleles out there. I don't know if you're here or people in Indiana, but we did want to mention one of the big things that we're looking forward to in March is going out to Gaithersburg, Maryland. Another international festival that feels more like a family reunion. And if you get a chance to go out there, the Bob Tiger and Lisa Webb, they're going to be there, and Gracie Terzia with the harp.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
The harp ukulele. Peter Moss coming out
Peter Moss.
It's amazing.
From
Bill Wynn.
Bill
Wow.
Wynn, someone I've admired for a long time, finally going to get to meet. Yeah. Someone else we're finally going to meet. Kirk. We feel like we've been friends forever, but we've never met face to face.
Wow.
So there are a number of people who are anxious to see you and meet you, and we will be playing on Hawaiian music night. A couple of Howleys playing Hawaiian songs, so we're practicing up for that, and we'd love to see you there, and we'd love for you to be in part of our workshops if that's something that interests.
That's awesome. You mentioned Lisa Webb and Bob Tiger. I had breakfast with them, and I'm not name dropping, but I actually had breakfast with Bob and Lisa on Saturday. So
that's great.
Really good time. Just a really good time. Great people.
Oh yeah, they bring a lot of wonderful energy into everything they do, and that Lisa, she's just been in music since she was, but only fairly recently to bringing it into the ukulele community.
Right. Came from piano. Lisa did. Yeah.
Right.
So I've got your some information about you on the screen right now. So as far as them finding you at uke66.com or facebook.com/uke66, and then the Gaithersburg address is there. So do you want to talk a little about, you've got a number of different workshops, so kind of touch maybe not the the detailed details of every one, but just really to cover like the breadth of things that you're going to be covering, I think would be really useful. I'm sure people watching are going to be headed to Gaithersburg, and if they weren't, they might be headed now.
Yeah. Well, it's because Keith and Nani are mean-spirited and they're trying to drive us into the dirt.
Because you've been at a lot of workshops, right?
No, actually, they're wonderful. They're wonderful people, and if anything, they're irresponsible because they let us do whatever we are interested in. And she's got some workshops that she's been doing in the community, and we'll be taking. What are your workshops?
I have learning how to read tablature, and then I have another one on chorded melody. So we'll play a song that was arranged by Stu Fuchs. He's graciously allowed us to use it for that workshop. And we have one on duets. So we'll have a couple of duets. Need to know how to read tablature for that. And then Rick has one. It's
me. I when I'm not playing ukulele, I'm teaching communication courses, and so this experience with COVID. And what you have built with the Wednesday night program really inspired me to look to the communication literature and to ask the question, what makes a healthy ukulele club? So if you are in a ukulele club, and if you're a ukulele club leader, and this last thing was a scare to you, or maybe you're at a point where you feel like I'm burned out. If you are in a club, or if you have a high stake in a club, one of my workshops is not a ukulele skill workshop. It is a workshop on ukulele clubs and what causes them, some to thrive, while others might take a dive. So that's one of them.
Yeah.
And then a second workshop is not a workshop at all. It's a round table gathering for people who are in ukulele clubs and people who lead ukulele clubs, for us to come together and share ideas, best practices. I think one of the most dangerous things that can happen to the ukulele clubs all around the world is that we remain silos, that we just stay in our own clubs and we don't talk with each other. Yeah. Well, a ukulele festival, I think, is a wonderful place for us to get together and talk about some of the issues that we all have in common, but then learn from each other on how to help our clubs stay just as wonderful as they are.
Yeah. No, I agree. I got involved with the club. I won't talk about me, but for a few seconds. And it was really small. I mean, it was like 5 or 6 people, and we introduced a projector. And honestly, the projector, I think, there's probably differing opinions because it forces you to. But the projector it changed the club like that. And people weren't fumbling around trying to flip sheets and pages of paper and fumbling with their music stand and different people being on different versions of the song, and just with the projector and like an iPad with projecting that image. Right. I mean, and it's like what we do here. I mean, we make it very easy for someone to follow the song. Now, it doesn't help you learn to play off book, but it very easily introduces someone to being able to follow along just like that. So
right.
Yeah. So the one workshop is on principles that we can use to keep our clubs strong and healthy. So we're learning from the literature about what makes strong groups. Yeah. But the other workshop, we're learning from each other. Yeah. And caring for one another, frankly.
Yeah.
No, that sounds awesome. So once again, I'm going to put it up on the screen, but I don't have the Gaithersburg dates on the screen. I have the URL. Do you recall the dates? You said March.
So yeah, second week of March.
Okay.
March 17th.
Yeah, is that March 17th? Is that? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of room for everyone.
gonna look at my calendar. That slate, the lineup looks great.
Oh yeah.
Well, fantastic, y'all. Do you have anything else you want to share with the crowd watching?
Um,
We love you.
I was going to say, take care of this guy.
Yeah.
Take care of this guy.
Hey, I do want to mention, because we talked about this just before we went on, the ukuleles you're holding. Do you want to talk just
Ours?
quickly?
Okay.
Well, you mentioned the soundboard on that ukulele, but then you confessed that you helped build, right? You're involved with the creation of that ukulele.
Mike Davis is a luthier in Mountain Grove, and he found us because he's famous for building period rifles like muskets, the long rifles. So if you saw the Mel Gibson film, what was it called?
Patriot.
Patriot. You saw his work.
Wow.
But his real love is instruments. He wants to build good. Well, he's building guitars, and he wanted to build ukuleles. So he got in touch with Karen and me, and he said, "I don't want to just build ukuleles. I want to build the best ukuleles." And well, he's got the chops. He used to work for Gibson, building guitars for them, and he's a voracious learner and reader, and he applies everything to the building. So that brings us to our ukulele. I started building with him, and we do these one at a time on order. Somebody who wants a custom made ukulele, then we build it. So of course I was one of those, and so I play a tenor. And this is solid mahogany sides and back, and mahogany neck, and check out the cute. There we are, Uke 66 inlay. It's mother of pearl, black and white mother of pearl inlay. There in kind of that road.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Right? But the big deal that I think that you were referring to is the soundboard is Adirondack spruce, but it's Adirondack spruce that came from the soundboard of a 100-year-old grand upright piano that was built in Chicago in 1917.
Wow.
And it just got tired of being a piano, and frankly, all it ever wanted to be was a ukulele. So so we got the soundboard from that piano, and now it's on this Mike Davis tenor.
Wow. I'm going to check that out. Does he have well, I'll look at it. I'll do some research on that. Or I'll get you outside of here.
You'll just have to talk to me. Yeah. And then Karen plays a concert, of
I play
course.
concert size. It's a walnut, sides and back, spruce top. And then the neck, headstock, and heel are all one piece. It was formed by Mike. And it's walnut from a walnut tree that was over 200 years old near Eminence, Missouri, and they had to cut it down because it had been hit by lightning. So I love that kind of stuff. So that's my ukulele neck and fretboard, and we have a little lightning bolt as the inlay, and it's mother of pearl surrounded by abalone, and then abalone fret markers, because Rick and I grew up on the Southern California coast, and abalone was just kind of a big part of everybody's yard decoration. So
Yeah.
Wow.
so that's fine.
I think that one of the great things, other than the quality of the instrument, is that you get to have some say in the design or what it looks like or how it feels. Both of us are playing ukuleles with slightly wider and thicker necks, and we call these the AARP necks, because if you're starting to feel pain in your hands, you got the arthritis going, the bigger neck seems to help.
It's easier.
Hey, so I meant to have this on like when I first came on.
There it is.
Right? So I have it here. I got this from your table when you were down in St. Pete at T-Bug. So that is actually one of my favorite hats. People take a second look at that when they see that, because at first they assume it's Route 66, and then they realize it's Uke, and they're.
And then on the back it says Ozark Aloha, which that's what we try to represent.
Yeah, that is awesome. Well, I can't thank you enough. Seriously, it's been a pleasure. Kind of the communication that has to take place before one of these appearances. So I really thank you for everything and just making this so easy. It's really been a treat, really been a pleasure and an honor for me to have you here.
Greg, thanks again for letting us be a part of this, and thank you too for all you are doing for the larger ukulele community. This is really amazing,
Yeah, it
and
is.
we really had a good time being here tonight. And look forward to what's coming up next. We know you have a lot planned for tonight. That's special. We're going to leave you now, but we'd like to leave you with some Ozark Aloha. This one by John Cruz. If you know it, play along. I think we're in the key of C.
We are.
On the island, we do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. On the island, we do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side.
Mama's in the kitchen cooking dinner real nice. Beef stew on the stove, loamy salmon with the ice. We eat and drink and we sing all day. Kinda capilla in the old Hawaiian way.
On the island, we do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. On the island, we do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side.
We go to grandma's on the weekend, clean the yard. If we no go, grandma gotta work hard. You know my grandma, she like her pie real sour. I love my grandma every minute, every hour.
On the island, we do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. On the island, we do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side.
Mama's in the kitchen cooking dinner real nice. Beef stew on the stove, loamy salmon with the ice.
We eat and drink and we sing all day. Kinda capilla in the old Hawaiian way. On the island, we do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. On the island, we do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side.
Wow. Okay, so that was that. That was it. I think they said right before that they were signing off. So Rick and Karen, thank you so much. Man, that was awesome. Uke 66. I put their information up several times. So check them out. Check out their website or check out their Facebook page. And if you're in Maryland or near Maryland or want to go to Maryland, check out Gaithersburg because that's going to be a really, really good festival. It's a little different. There are a lot of artists and a lot of workshops at that festival. So we're just grateful and thankful that they joined us. And I think they're going to stick on. They said they were going to stick on and answer some questions for just a little bit in the comments. So if you have some questions for them, some folks asked about those visuals, the embellishment chords. So I will post those to Dropbox. I'll do that right after this ends. It'll take me just a few minutes, but and I'll show you something in a little bit. So we're gonna start. Our iPad is working. I say our because we're we're a community here. Okay, we've done this song before. I think a lot of people know that this song was like a reggae song in the late 80s, early 90s, somewhere around there. Long time ago. But it was actually written by Neil Diamond. So, just a little bit of trivia. Real easy 3-chord song. It's in the key of D. Why? Why is it in the key of D? Because that's the key I can sing it in. If you're new, the down arrows that you see on A, those just mean single down strums. Red, red wine, and then we'll start. Well, the D is actually strumming. So it's red, red wine. That is how we're going to do the song. Again, I said this very early. I haven't seen scammers in a while. But if you see someone posting something in the comments to watch this show and click on this link, don't click on that. Sad that we have to do that, but it's the world we live in. All right, here we go. Red, red wine goes to my head. Makes me forget that I still love her so. Red, red wine, it's up to you. All I can do, I've done. Memories won't go. Memories won't go. I have sworn that with time thoughts of you would leave my head. I was wrong. Now I've found just one thing makes me forget. Red, red wine. Stay close to me. Don't let me be alone. It's tearing apart my blue heart. I have sworn that with time thoughts of you would leave my head. I was wrong. Now I find just one thing makes me forget. Red, red wine. Stay close to me. Don't let me be alone. It's tearing apart my blue heart. Red, red wine. Stay close to me. Don't let me be alone. It's tearing apart my blue heart. All right, that's song number one. We've got more. Let me go back here. Couple things to talk about. No, I'll do another song and then I'll talk about that. How's that? We talk about Dropbox a lot, and we say, oh, we'll put something in Dropbox. I have a Dropbox account, and I put stuff in it, chords and lyrics from the show and various things. So I'm gonna put that in there. Look at Terry Brandsma is a rock star. Terry put the Dropbox link, but I'm going to show you a little more about it because Audrey, who tunes in, and she's just great. She volunteers. So does Terry to help, monitor the chat and just to help organize. And Audrey's done a lot of cool stuff. So we're going to do that in just a little bit. But next, we are going to do this song. And one little tip, and I gave that class I gave up in Indiana. It's called Ukulele Essentials. It's not for beginners. It's just those things that everyone should know, and they really make you just better players. So I gave a little tip on tempo. A little section of the workshop was on tempo, and something that's real easy to do. If you don't have a drummer, because often, most of the time, a drummer will set the tempo. But if you want to set the tempo, let's say you're a meetup, right? You're playing with some friends and you want to set the tempo. You can count it out. You can have a little drum machine. But one way is just to strum by muting your strings. Now, let me show you this real quick. All I'm doing, I'm going to play my C chord with my pointer finger, right? It's the same chord no matter what finger I play it with. And I'm going to do that so I can mute these strings. And I'm just going to lightly touch the strings. And I should get that sound. Too hard and it sounds like this. And that is not good. Too light and it sounds like this. That's no good. Just light enough to completely stop them from ringing. And then I'm just going to start this song with the speed. I'm strumming to the speed that I'm going to do the song in. So, little bit, about that speed. And when I go to start the song, so it says scratch island strum 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I start. Right? And it's just an interesting way to start the song. It tells people what the tempo is. It serves several purposes. So, with that said, we are going to start the song like that. And then that's it. I'm not going to play the C chord with my pointer finger anymore after that. But just to start it, it's just an easy transition rather than trying to... You could mute with your pinky. That's one way you could do it. And then just lift your pinky. Carl, I agree. Chucking is a challenge. All right, here we go. Let me move that down just a little bit. All I need is a little air, some for me, some for everywhere. All I need is a little sun, some for me, some for everyone. Little bit of love. Little bit of love. Little bit of love. All I need is some water to drink, quiet place so I can sit and think. If I find me a pot of gold, I never forget about the rainbow. Little bit of love, little bit of love. little bit of love. Oh, little bit of love. F7. What I'm really trying to say is I need you. And every little bit of love you give me too. Woo. All I need is a happy home, it's a place I wouldn't have to be alone. It'll be nice to have some candlelight, light the fire in your hearts at night. Little bit of love, all that I need, little bit of love. No need be greedy, little bit of love. I love this treaty, little bit of love. It's all that we needed. Woo! What I'm really trying to say is I need you. And every little bit of love you give me too. Woo. All I need is a little love. Some for me, some for everyone. All I need is a little love. Some for me, some for everyone. All I need is a little love. 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 Hey, sorry about that. I botched a chord towards the end there. You know, that happens. Let's go back to this screen here. All right, let me look at what we have next. Okay, we are going to do... No, we're not going to use drum. We're going to use drums in just a little bit. And we'll put on a drum machine. And if you haven't been here before, we will strum to that drum machine. It's a lot of fun. It's good practice, too. It's good exercise to train your brain to... keep a steady tempo. All right, so a couple things here on this song. Let's look at this. Maggie May. We have a D, and then we have an A sus4. If you look at that A sus4, it's just the D, and just lift your ring finger. If you make a D, first position D, where people just use those three fingers on those three strings. And then you just lift up your ring finger, and that's your A sus4. Yeah. And what we're trying to do, if you know the song Maggie May, we're trying to kind of simulate that beginning. We don't have a mandolin. And this is kind of what you're going for. That. Right? We have ukuleles. So anyway, and if you look at G sus2, G sus2 is what Rick was talking about just a little bit ago when they were talking about chord embellishments. And that essentially is a embellished chord, a suspended chord of G, a boogie note. If you've seen Little Rev, I heard someone mention that Little Rev refers to them as boogie notes. Yes, they're all the same. They're all in that same family. And everything else, F sharp minor, you know that's just G7, the G7 shape, just moved up towards your chin, one string, that same shape though. So let's go. You ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you. Oh, Maggie, I couldn't have tried anymore. You led me away from home just to save you from being alone. You stole my heart, and that's what really hurts. The morning sun, when it's in your face, really shows your age. But that don't worry me none. In my eyes, you're everything. I laughed at all of your jokes. My love, you didn't need to coax. Oh, Maggie, I couldn't have tried anymore. You led me away from home just to save you from being alone. You stole my heart, and that's a pain I could do without. You stole my soul. All I needed was a friend to lend a guiding hand. But you turned into a lover and a mother. What a lover, you wore me out. All you did was wreck my bed, and in the morning kick me in the head. Oh, Maggie, I couldn't have tried anymore. You led me away from home 'cause you didn't want to be alone. You stole my heart, couldn't leave you if I tried. Verse 4. I suppose I could collect my books and get on back to school, or steal my daddy's cue, make a living out of playing pool, or find myself a rock and roll band that needs a helping hand. Oh, Maggie, I wish I'd never seen your face. You made a first-class fool out of me, but I'm as blind as a fool can be. You stole my heart, but I love you anyway. We're gonna end just the way we started. Here we go. Alrighty, back here. I hope you're having a great time. This is so much better than last week. Oh, it's going to be nice. I am going to buy the biggest screen I can possibly fit in front of me. It'll make life so much easier. Okay, so we have something. So I mentioned this weeks ago, and we didn't do it last week because we were saving Charla. But there's certain songs that I don't do on this show just because they're typically... there's a lot of songs written or performed, or written and performed by women. And sometimes I can't really pull those songs off real well. It just doesn't come off real well. And the next song is one of them. It's a great song. So anyway, we have a guest, Charla Weens, I believe is on. I saw her earlier. So Charla lives up in Canada. I think everyone who knows Charla knows she's... her family they're peach farmers, but Charla is just fun and has really embraced the ukulele, and she's just a blast and wonderful voice. We've done a bunch of collaborations together, so we are gonna do. No, I said we, not we. Charla. Charlotte is going to do the next song, and that next song is You're So Vain. So everybody, guys too, if you want to play, practice. Here is Charlene's.
Hi there. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Charla. I am from Niagara-on-the-Lake, where we run a peach farm, and I also help to lead our Niagara-on-the-Lake Euchsters Jam. A few years ago, I came up with a themed 100-day challenge, which some of you may be familiar with as well. But today what we get to do is jam together on You're So Vain by Carly Simon. And I'm just going to give you a few little strumming patterns that help give some flavor to the tune. If you can't do any extra things right now, feel free to just stick with down strums on 1, 2, 3, 4, or do your island strum or Swiss Army type strum. All right, so coming right in with the intro, it needs attitude, this song, because you're telling somebody off, really. So we're going to do on that A minor a hard down, and then we're going to go down again, but then a hard up again. So we're emphasizing ba, 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 something like that. When we get to the F, that's just one strum down, and the G is one strum down. When we get to the last G on that intro is where you're going to sing you, or if you want to add some more, well, you. Sometimes we just do what, we think Carly did, right? As we get into that verse, we're going to stick with that attitude strum of the hard down, hard up. But then when we move on to the fifth line, you'll see lots of chords. And that's where we're giving many of them 2 strums down and some of them 1 strum down. So you had one eye in the mirror as you watched yourself gavotte. And all the girls, once we get into they'd be your partner, we're going to double time that. So we give a lot of momentum going into the chorus. They'd be your partner. So it's a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and as we hit that first C, we give a little flourish to get into a basic strum. And I think that's about it, except for at the end of that chorus when we get to the don't yous. I bet you think this song is about you, don't you, don't you. So we're going to give a lot of up, heavy up strums on the don'ts. So why don't we put on the auto scroll and give it a shot. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Scarf, it was apricot. You held one
probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. Don't you, don't you, don't you? There you go. You guys did great. See ya.
Oh, you know what? You know, I turned down my volume. Boy, that's a silly, silly thing. I turned down my volume, but I turned it down on a different screen. So, so all you lip readers out there kept up with me. Everyone else, okay, I'm going to back up real quick. So this is the Dropbox. I'm real sorry about that. I turned down my volume so I could not make noise while Charlotte was singing. And then yeah, that's what happened. I'm never going to do that again. That was a rookie mistake. Okay, so here's the Dropbox, folks. Thanks for hanging in there. Talk about the Dropbox, a lot of stuff. I go to Ukulele Gent main page. Scroll down a little bit to the About section. You got a Dropbox link, if you see that on the left-hand side. I go there, then I get this. And a woman named Sarah Castillo originally created this. And then Audrey O'Brien has continued that. And she's really volunteered. Amazing the work she's done. But if you look at the bottom here, all the chords and lyrics for all the songs, you can see tonight's. It's down towards the bottom. Johnny Cash from the Johnny Cash special. Chords and lyrics 125, 2023. So they're by date. You can see those. And you can also see chords and lyrics from previous years. But what Audrey has done in this playlist info folder is all kinds of indexes. So you can look at every song we've ever done on the show and find out right here, this right in the middle of the screen, index of all songs. You can click on that and it shows you every song we've ever done and all the dates that we've done it on. It's got an index of every song and what chords get used as what chords we've done on the show. Let me go back. It's got an index of every guest we've ever had on the show. And what date they were on. So if you want to say, hey, I want to see Devin Scott, or I want to see Little Rev, or anyone who's been on the show and watch their workshop, their little mini workshop, or watch them perform, it's all here. It's pretty amazing. Let's go back. See here. So in this, let me find this. Okay, there it is. If you look down at the bottom here, in the main folder, you have a Dropbox guide jam. So Audrey has put this together too. And it's this amazing document that explains everything that's in Dropbox, where it is, what it's for. So I would recommend go to the Dropbox, read that document. That it's amazing. So I really appreciate you, Audrey, for doing that. So check that out, folks. Amazing research. We've just had a lot of good guests on this show, and they've taught a lot of amazing things, and that's why this. And if you want to see a song and how it's performed, and you want to play along with a particular song, she's done it. Her and Sarah started it. Audrey took it over. So Audrey, thank you very much. All right, we'll move on to the next song, but I really wanted to point that out because it's a good resource. All right, here we go. Now that we have volume, thanks for all the people. See, I need like a alert, like a major. I need like a buzzer or something. I haven't muted myself and talked on for a while. That's been a while, so very special treat, y'all. All right, we're gonna do the dance. We're gonna mix some Travis picking and some strumming. So I'm going to pick the verses, and I'm going to strum the chorus. We'll talk about Travis picking another time. You can strum the whole song. It actually would probably sound pretty good if someone was picking and someone was strumming. So we're going to do that, and here we go. Looking back on the memory of the dance we shared 'neath the stars above, for a moment all the world was right. How could I have known that you'd ever say goodbye? And now I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. Could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance. Now pick. Holding you, I held everything for a moment. Wasn't I a king? If I'd only known how the king would fall, then who's to say? You know I might have changed it all. And now I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance. All right. So that's a good mix. And that sometimes is a tough thing. Some people work on Travis picking. That's an awesome skill to have. And to get from, and if you Travis pick a whole song, you get in that groove, right? You're like, I got this, and I'm going to do it the whole song. Same with strumming. I got this groove of strumming. I'm going to do it the whole song. So it's a little tricky sometimes when you first do it, and you alternate and move from strumming to picking and back. So try that with some slow songs first, because it's easier to try it slow, and just try to make that transition and then make it smooth. If you need a little pause, make a dramatic pause in there, and then do that and wait, and then come in on the beat, but you might come in on the next beat or skip a couple beats. Dramatic pauses. Nobody knows you're cheating. All right, this is the last song of the night, and I want to show you something in this song real quick. Okay, so this fun song, "Don't Pass Me By," Ringo Starr. If we look at this, we've got D's a lot, like 4 measures of D. That's a lot of D. And what Rick and Karen were talking about earlier, they were talking about those embellishments, that filling that void, that constant D. And we've talked about that on here other times. So that is that example of that boogie note. And I can use that D sus4. I'll show you it in just a minute and where to find this stuff. I could just use D sus4. And do that, and then go into the song. I listen for your footsteps, right? And then start the song. But what I want to show you too is down here in the chorus. Look at that. We have 4 measures of A, then G, then D. That's a lot of just A. So you could play an A sus4. And I'll show you this, the A sus4, don't worry. We could play a G and a G sus4. We could play a D and a D sus4, right? I'll show you all these, just a second. But I'll show them, and then we can use that in the chorus. So I'm going to go and show you some chords. I'll show you a really good website. Let me come back here, and let me pull this up for you real quick. Here. All right, so this is a fantastic website. It's not my website, I promise. It's ukebuddy.com. And I can go use this for a lot of things, but I'm going to come to the namer, and I'm just going to do this. And I'm going to touch the screen. I'm just using my finger, and I can touch the screen. I have an iPad. You could click it if you're using a regular computer. And I'm going to make a D chord, right? So there's my D. That's the D. So when we do the D sus4, that embellishment, I am going to do this. And it's got a couple different names, but if you look, one of those names is D sus4. Right? You got that? What else, other chord did we have? We had a G in there, right? So we let's make our G chord. Yep. And if we put our finger here, if we move that to here, now we have a G sus4. So it's just sliding your finger over 1 fret, and you will have a G sus4. Again, they go by a couple different names. There's a lot of music theory behind that, but for here we're going to call it a G sus4. And then we have A. So our A chord is that, right? That is our A chord. And then if we move that over 1 fret, again, several names, but again, we have an A sus4. So we have each of those primary chords, and then we have a sus version of each of those. So hopefully that makes sense. So great site here. Check out that site. Use that site. You can use it. I should have a tutorial on that site sometime. I think I did a while back, but it's a great site. You can navigate it. You can figure it out. You don't need me. Okay, so what let's practice that real quick, and then we'll do the song. We're gonna add a drum beat. It's gonna be the grand, big finale, fun finale. It's a fun song. So this, that A, so don't pass me by, don't make me cry, don't make me blue. That is what we're gonna do here. Now A sus4, let's just do it without singing. Here, I'll do this. I'll get kind of close so you can sort of see what I'm doing. And then we go to G. And then to D. Right? So, if it doesn't come like that, it shouldn't, unless you're some brilliant person that picks things up immediately. Practice them though. And just the hardest thing about the embellished chords that, you know, that Rick and that U66, Rick and Karen were talking about, is remembering to use them, because you're so used to just playing D 4 measures, right? They're not difficult. All you're doing is dropping your pinky. That's it. Or dropping your ring finger. They're simple moves. But it's just remembering to use them. So I wanted to point that out because we're going to use something that was just taught like 25 minutes ago. Here we go. And we're going to use a drum machine too. So we're going to do a lot of stuff. It's going to be fun. I promise. Okay, let's start this drum. Turn that up just a little bit. All right. So here we go. Are you ready? Let's vamp on D for a minute just to get the feel of that beat. That's our beat. G. Okay? All right. That's it. Now we're gonna go to the beat. We're gonna use embellishments, boogie notes, suspended chords, and let's have fun with this one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Listen for your footsteps coming up the drive. Listen for your footsteps, but they don't arrive. Waiting for your knock, dear, on my old front door. I don't hear it, doesn't mean you don't love me anymore. I hear that clock a-ticking on the mantel shelf. I see the hands a-moving, but I'm by myself. I wonder where you are tonight and why I'm by myself. I don't see you, does it mean you don't love me anymore? Don't pass me by, don't make me cry, don't make me blue. 'Cause you know, darling, I love only you. You'll never know, it hurts me so, how I hate to see you go. Don't pass me by. Don't make me cry. Don't make me blue. Ooh, boogie notes. Sorry that I doubted you. I was so unfair. You were in a car crash and you lost your hair. You said that you'd be late tonight, about an hour or two. I said, that's alright, I'm waiting, just waiting to hear from you. Don't pass me by, don't make me cry, don't make me blue. 'Cause you know, darling, I love only you. You'll never know, it hurts me so, how I hate to see you go. Don't pass me by. Don't make me cry. Don't make me blue. Don't pass me by. Don't make me cry. Don't make me blue. 'Cause you know, darling, I love only you. You'll never know, it hurts me so, how I hate to see you go. Don't pass me by. Don't make me cry. Don't make me blue. Woo! All right, that was a fun one. Anyway, practice those things. Practice on this song. It's a great song to practice to. But you got to practice them. And the more you practice them, then you don't think anything about it. You're playing a Johnny Cash song, and it's in the key of D, and there's 4 measures of D. You just, and there's a couple different suspended chords on sus chords for like a D. And some sound better. One might sound better than the other. So experiment with it. It's a lot of fun. It is 8:33. We ran a little bit longer, but we had some great stuff. Great guests. Rick and Karen, Maxon, Uke 66. You guys are phenomenal. I hope to get up to Gaithersburg, actually. Charleween. So check out Rick and Karen, Uke 66. I put up their information several times. Check them out. Charlotte, thank you for doing You're So Vain. That was awesome. And new folks, glad you're here. Really glad you're here. Come on back. Tell your friends. Let's grow this community. We really are. We're friends. When I went to Indiana, it's crazy. It's just crazy. We really are. It's a great community. You all are awesome. And I can tell you I am so fortunate to be able to hang out with you every Wednesday. Have a great week, a great weekend. And we will see you next week. No guests. Next week, 10 songs. I'll probably post what the songs are beforehand. But thanks, Audrey. Thanks, Terry, for helping out. And thank you all for being here. Really, really thank you for being here. All right. See you. Bye.